Kayla felt her body grow cold. "I have 5,500 on my right, 6,000 the lady near the aisle." She began to shake, but almost as if it had a will of its own. Her right hand raised itself, and her bid was acknowledged. 7,000, the blonde lady at the back." "Oh, hell, that's me." Kayla closed her eyes, not wanting to believe what she'd just done. 7,500. Do I have 8,000? Kayla grabbed her right hand with the left and held onto it in a childish effort to restrain it. She mustn't buy this painting. It would be sheer madness. For one thing, it was too large, and for another, no, it just wouldn't do. Perhaps if she tried to concentrate on something else, it would take her mind off the proceedings. She turned to study the people around her, looking everywhere except directly at the painting. That way lay danger. She had never been to an auction before, and had had a vague idea that only very rich people went to such events. But the audience was an unexpected mixture. There were ladies in Chanel outfits, dripping with jewellery, and men in expensive tailored suits. But Kayla could also see quite a few rather scruffy individuals. One man in particular looked as if he couldn't afford his next meal, never mind thousands of pounds worth of art. But just then, he raised his hand to make a bid. 10,000 the gentleman to my left. 10,500 anyone? Resolutely ignoring the auctioneer, Kayla continued to look around the room. As she wasn't very tall, she had to crane her neck to see the gleaming mahogany podium at the front. To her right, a row of desks, manned by staff taking telephone bids, were equally shiny, and she found the whole setup intimidating. Its occupants looked down on the bidders, and Kayla felt like a lesser mortal. She shouldn't have come. She really didn't belong here. But she'd had no choice. Had she? Do I have 12,000? 12,000? That was a huge amount of money. But it was worth every penny. She glanced at the painting, then made another effort to look around the room instead. An enormous skylight let in the pale spring sunshine, aiding the artificial lighting which illuminated the artwork that was hung around the walls. She wondered why none of them appealed to her. The only one she wanted was the one being sold at the moment. Her right hand came up, with the left one still holding onto it, as if someone was pulling an invisible string. No, this was ridiculous. But she couldn't stop it. 12,000 the blonde lady at the back. 12,500? Do I have 12,500? The voice droned on, and Kayla concentrated desperately on the huge board near the ceiling, which showed the present bid in pounds sterling, as well as in several other currencies. The amounts changed, and the conversions followed automatically. She saw that the bidding was now up to £16,000, but seemed to have slowed down. £16,000. That was definitely more than she could afford, which was just as well, she told herself, and tried to suppress the disappointment welling up inside her. I have £16,000, the auctioneer informed them, and lifted his gavel. The mounting excitement in the audience was almost tangible, as a hush fell on the room. Was this to be the final price? Everyone seemed to hold their collective breath, including Kayla. She quickly raised her hand again. Surely she could afford an extra £1,000 somehow. I'll buy a cheaper wedding dress. Right, 16,500 with the blonde lady at the back. The man lowered the gavel and scanned the room for any further bids. And 17,000, the gentleman on my right. 17,500, anyone? Yes, I have 17,500, ladies and gentlemen. He paused once more. The heavy catalogue fell out of Kayla's suddenly numb fingers, but with a supreme effort, she managed to raise her